Good morning, everybody. Dr. Vuong here, world famous bariatric surgeon. Today is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. I want to do a quick COVID update for you. The numbers are definitely ticking up, so much so that New York, New Jersey, as you guys know, there's been a 50 to 60% increase in the last 2 weeks. More importantly, the number of children coming down with COVID has increased about 65% in the last 2 weeks. And the number that I really look at is hospitalization has gone up about 20%, and ICU admissions are starting to go up, which is expected. Now, I think that the current trend is going to just kind of plateau out. We're not going to have this huge surge like what we saw during the winter months. My guess is this Omicron wave is kind of burning out, and the stealth Omicron variant will be a lot like the Alpha variant last year. It just kind of burnt Michigan and Wisconsin, Minnesota, never took over. So we're starting to see numbers kind of go up in the Kentucky, Virginia, DC area, a little bit of Florida, some California numbers coming up, Colorado, Midwest, that sort of stuff. But I just don't think you'll see a big surge. Now, the reason why I want to do this video is because something funky is happening in South Africa. As we know, South Africa is the South African variant, Omicron variant, and after the Omicron surge in South Africa, their numbers went down, and now they're coming back up again. They went down to a couple hundred cases a day. They're back up to about 5,000 cases a day over the last couple of weeks. So there is a surge happening in South Africa. South Africa is a good model for us because they had a high number of infections. They have a good vaccination rate, mostly Caucasian population, that we're talking about here. And so it makes for a good model. Now, why is South Africa suddenly having an increase? So, in the lineage of Omicron, there are now subvariants underneath Omicron. The famous one is stealth Omicron. That was BA.2, right? Now, there's actually now a BA.4 and a BA.5, and that has become the driving subvariant in South Africa. So if the past holds true, what's happening in South Africa now will happen in the United States. And the reason why I'm making this video is because, good news, surprise, BA.4 and BA.5 have been identified here in the United States. They don't talk about it, but it's here. So I'm keeping a close eye on what's happening in South Africa. I've been saying since, for several months that we have this window, and you're in the middle of the window of relative normalcy, that as long as you're boosted, you want to wear a mask, whatever you do you're comfortable with, even if you don't wear a mask, even if you're not vaccinated, you are in the middle of a window of relative normalcy before we go into the next surge. And I think the next surge will be the final surge because we've got vaccinations, we've got treatment options, Paxlovid, we've got masking, we know what to do, what not to do, we understand it. But will this next surge be BA.4/5, the Omicron subvariant? A lot of that depends on what happens in South Africa. But look for that to start around July, August, September, and we'll push into the winter and the fall and winter. And this will be kind of the last, I think, surge, and we can pretty much put this pandemic behind us after this next surge. How bad will it get? I will tell you, the last surge is usually smaller. The middle surge is usually the big one, which is what we saw in Omicron. And so it'll be a definite surge. It won't be as big as Omicron, and we will definitely, we have treatment options this time. But that's it. Keep an eye on South Africa, and what the heck is happening in China. I don't know why they're shutting down Beijing, Shanghai. What is going on there? We'll see.